Hello friends and welcome to episode 25 of the Miscellany for 2021. I'm Mike Bermingham. This week we see the discovery of ancient ruins in Verona, hear the story of a diver swallowed by a humpback whale, wonder at an Australian designed spacecraft, check out some amazing bridges and look at the final part of some graphic artists who get super creative. First to our brain teaser asking us, why do aliens not like visiting Earth very often? Wonder why. Answer to come at the end. Some vintage images now. Some images now of the jobs that people have done in the past. Back to 1870 first. An image of American workers with a mountain of bison skulls ready to be used and broken down for fertilizer. A chambermaid next, using the first vacuum cleaner weighing 300 pounds in 1906. 1908 now, and child labourers at an Indiana glassworks plant. Hedge cutters are seen here cutting the highest hedge in England in Cirencester. The hedge is 11 metres high and was planted in 1720. And finally, a metal worker raising the mast of the Empire State Building atop it in 1932. To World of Mystery now. An ancient Roman building has been found during excavations at a former cinema in the northern Italian city of Verona. The discovery was made during excavations in the basement of the Astra cinema there, which is undergoing renovation after lying abandoned for more than 20 years. With its magnificent frescoed walls, the building, which dates back to the 2nd century, evokes a miniature Pompeii, said Verona's archaeological superintendent, the department in charge of archaeology in the area. The discovery just comes a year after a perfectly preserved Roman mosaic floor was found close to Verona. The multicoloured tiles found beneath a row of vines had been part of the foundations for a Roman villa dating back to the 3rd century. Earthwatch. Like other large whales, the humpback was the target for the whaling industry in the past. The species was once hunted to the brink of extinction. Its population fell by an estimated 90% before a 1966 moratorium. Since then, worldwide numbers have partially bounced back to some 80,000 animals. In a related story I heard last week, a humpback whale swallowed a diver off the coast of Cape Cod before, and thankfully, spitting him back out. This is the kind of story that makes you go, what? That can't be true, but it is. A Michael Packard, who's a commercial lobster diver, was about 14 metres deep when he felt a huge bump before everything went dark. Michael admitted he believed he was going to die after the whale swallowed him and actually thought it was a shark. But he couldn't feel any teeth and there really wasn't any pain, so he figured it must have been a whale. Fortunately, he had his breathing apparatus operating at the time, so oxygen wasn't a problem. He reckoned he was probably in the whale's mouth for about 30 seconds until the beast surfaced, spitting the lobster diver out before a crewmate of his came along and rescued him. He suffered just minor bruising to his legs, and experts said that incidents like this are extremely rare and believe that the whale was likely feeding on fish at the time and the diver was in the wrong place. This amazing story made worldwide news and has given Michael the best true tall tale he can tell for the rest of his days.
Arr, I was swallowed by a whale, but I must have tasted so good, so he spat me out, and here I am as strong as an ox. Arr.
Frontiers of science now. Here's a news item that appeared recently in a West Australian newspaper. An Australian-designed spacecraft with ultra-fast speed is being planned for the 40 trillion kilometre journey to our second nearest star. Yes, Alpha Centauri it's called. The ultra-light, and in weight that is, spacecraft features laser propulsion and a light sail for interstellar travel to the solar system, 4.3 light years away from us. This breakthrough Starshot project, a contribution from the Australian National University, should reach its destination within 20 years a journey that would take 100 lifetimes using today's conventional space travel. The idea is to speed the spacecraft up to a quarter of the speed of light, thus achieving this remarkable feat. Thanks to broadcaster and self-confessed space fan Oliver Muldoon for that. Oliver can be heard on the airwaves in Perth in Australia on VCA 88.5 FM every Saturday 8 to 10 AM Irish time with his programme Anything Goes. You can listen by googling 88.5fm.com.au and clicking on the Listen Live button. Some nostalgia from Ireland now. Some events from this week back in time include June 21st. This day is the summer solstice. At around 3 o'clock Irish time, that's AM Irish time, the sun reaches the most northerly point of its oscillation and the longest day results. Just over 17 hours, in fact. The sun rises over the capital city at 4:57 AM, setting at 9:57 PM. 1995, a mass rally of the entire Irish Press newspaper workforce and their families and friends takes place in the centre of Dublin in a demonstration of unified protest against the planned closure of that newspaper group. June 22nd, 1932, the Eucharistic Congress is held in Dublin and it begins. The high point is when over 1 million people gather for Mass in the Phoenix Park. June 23rd, 1985, an Air India Boeing 747 from Toronto crashes off the Irish coast after a bomb explodes in the cargo hold, killing all 329 people aboard in the world's worst commercial disaster in the air at sea. June 25th, 1783, the Bank of Ireland is established in Dublin by royal charter. It issues its first notes and opens to the public on that date, and although the 18th century and all through the 18th century the value of the Irish pound had been fixed at 13 Irish to 12 sterling. June 27th, 2001, the Golden Eagle lands in Ireland for the first time in nearly a century. 6 chicks of the bird of prey arrive in County Donegal from the Scottish Highlands at the start of a programme to reintroduce a species that became extinct in 1912. And now to question of the week. What are some of the scariest or most amazing bridges in the world? Well, the Ashima Oashahi Bridge, which connects 2 cities in Japan, may have you wanting to take the long way around. It doesn't look too bad in this picture, but looks like a roller coaster in this one. It was built from 1997 to 2004 and is the largest rigid frame bridge in Japan and the 3rd largest in the world. Next to Lake Pontchartrain, the Lake Pontchartrain Bridge in Louisiana, USA. It looks positively benign compared to the Ashima Bridge. The longer of the 2 bridges is 28.83 miles. That's 38.35 kilometers long. The bridges are supported by 9,500 concrete pilings. Imagine putting those down. The Royal Gorge Bridge next, that's in Colorado. It was built 6 months between June and November of 1929 at a cost of $350,000. That's equivalent to about $4.2 million in 2019 terms. It held the record of the highest bridge in the world from 1929 until 2001, when it was surpassed by a bridge in China. There are many others you can look up, or you could always go for a scary road bridge like this one in Pakistan. No thank you. Video now. Back to 1990 and a radio sketch I performed with radio colleague Dermot Leyden.
Presenting another mini theater. In today's exciting episode, the guard is on duty.
Good evening, sir. I happened to notice while I was walking up to your vehicle that your taillight is not operational.
I know, guard. All I do there is I give it a little bit of a kick, and there you look. There, it's working again now.
Well, fair enough. I also observed that your parking light and your headlight aren't working either.
Well, it's a bit of a strange car, guard, you know. But if you give it an old bang again, it's there. Look at that, like new again. Look at the beam of that.
Fair enough. I'd also suggest, sir, that you give a good kick to your windscreen. It's missing a tax disc and insurance disc.
Oh no!
Full name, if you don't mind.
You've been listening to another mini theater. Tune in next time, same station.
All I can say is keep your tax insurance and NCT up to date. And now to a super smart parrot in Knoxville Zoo in Tennessee.
Are you famous? What keeps you safe? Good. Are you a pirate? Can you blow a kiss? Can you toot? That's gross. Alright, how about some animal sounds? Can you do a red wolf? How about an owl? The pretty songbirds? How about a rooster? Can you do a horse? Good. How about a pig that needs to go on a diet? How about your best friend, the skunk? Stinker. Can you fall down? Did that hurt? Cry like a baby. Can you do a cat? How about a dog? Can you bark? Good.
Thank you, Polly. The last of our 3-part series on Mike's Mind Benders now, looking at the strange images graphic artists produce just for fun. Some bizarre stuff in there, wouldn't you say? Our brain teaser answer: why do aliens not like visiting Earth very often? Well, because it's rated only 1 star. The joke being, of course, the star in question is our sun that we orbit around. The final word, quote or affirmation, words of comfort and inspiration. The biggest difference between money and time. You always know how much money you have, but you never know how much time you have. So a couple of things of interest over the last week. Hope you enjoyed looking in. Thanks so much for doing that. We'll talk again in a week's time. Until then, take care of each other and bye for now.
From the home studio of Michael Bermingham,